The third type of pollution can disrupt both plant and animal life very easily, as it pollutes a very important element necessary for their survival. The element we are talking about is soil. Soil is one of the most important natural resources that supports the growth of plants by holding the roots firmly and supplying water and nutrients. It is the home for many organisms and is essential for agriculture, which provides food, clothing, and shelter for all. Soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks, by the action of wind, water and climate. This process is called weathering. The nature of any soil depends upon the rocks from which it has been formed and the type of vegetation that grows in it. Soil is composed of various layers. These layers are referred to as horizons. A vertical section through different layers of the soil is called the soil profile. The uppermost horizon is generally dark in color, as it is rich in humus and minerals. The humus, which is the rotting dead matter in the soil, makes the soil fertile and provides nutrients to growing plants. Single-celled bacteria or even fungi decompose organic matter to form humus. This layer is generally soft, porous, and can retain more water. It is called the topsoil or the A horizon. The next layer has a lesser amount of humus but more of minerals. This layer is generally harder and more compact and is called the B horizon or the middle layer. The third layer is the C horizon, which is made up of small lumps of rocks with cracks and crevices. The last layer is called the bedrock. This layer is hard and difficult to dig with a spade and forms the bottommost and biggest layer of the soil. Soil is made up in parts of finely ground rock particles grouped according to size as sand, silt and clay. There is a way to find out the content of these particles in a given soil. The soil needs to be placed in a small cylinder. Then water is added to it. The top of the cylinder is closed tight with a rubber band and the cylinder is shaken vigorously to mix its contents. It is then kept overnight. The soil grains settle based on their size. The bigger particles of sand settle and form a layer at the bottom. Then the finer particles of silt settle in next, followed by the finest of all, the clay particles. If the soil contains greater proportion of big particles, it is called sandy soil. If the proportion of fine particles is relatively higher, then it is called clayey soil. If the amount of large and fine particles is about the same, then the soil is called loamy. The best topsoil for growing plants is loam. Loamy soil is a mixture of sand, clay and silt. Silt occurs as a deposit in river beds. The size of the silt particles is between those of sand and clay. The loamy soil also has humus in it. It has the right water holding capacity for the growth of plants. Different types of soils are found in different parts of India. In some parts there is clayey soil, in some parts there is loamy soil, while in some other parts there is sandy soil. Soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity. These are some important climatic factors which affect the soil profile and bring changes in the soil structure. Climatic factors as well as the components of soil determine the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. Crops such as wheat are grown in the fine clayey soils because they are rich in humus and are very fertile. For paddy, soils rich in clay and organic matter and having a good capacity to retain water are ideal. For lentils or masoor and other pulses, loamy soils which drain water easily are required. Soil pollution that takes place in general is in the form of soil erosion. Soil erosion is the process of weathering and transport of solids like sediment, soil, rock and other particles in the natural environment. It usually occurs due to transport by wind, water or ice, by downslope creep of soil and other material. Erosion of soil is more severe in areas of little or no surface vegetation, such as desert or bare lands. Hence, deforestation should be avoided. So to conclude, we understand that pollution is a threat that continues to hover above our world. If we have given birth to this threat, it is we alone who can put an end to it.